When I first started collecting cacti, I have always wondered how often I should be watering and fertilizing them. Yes, I've lost some due to overwatering and underwatering, but through trial and error, I believe I found the right schedule for watering my cacti. First, I will talk about how often I water my cacti. In general, you should water your cactus when the soil gets completely dry. Water it sparingly, but focus on soaking the soil deeply and allowing it to dry out between waterings. The frequency depends on a number of factors. First is the cactus species and size, the pot material and size, whether if it's made of plastic, clay pot, or ceramic pot, the soil composition, whether if it's mostly organic or inorganic, the time of the year, if it's winter, spring, summer, or fall, the humidity and temperature, also the weather or the climate, whether if it's hot, dry, or you get too much rainfall, and also the amount of light and sun it receives. So during the growing season, which is spring and summer, I water it every 2 to 4 weeks and allowing the soil to dry completely between waterings. And during the dormant period, which is fall and winter, I reduce watering to once every 4 to 6 weeks and sometimes even less. I give the first watering mid-February, just a light watering, just enough to wet the roots. And then around March, that's when I give them more water with their first fertilizer of the year. What I do is I soak the soil thoroughly until the water drains from the pot's drainage holes. Also, avoid overwatering, as it is one of the most common mistakes with cacti. Too much water can lead to root rot. Always err on the side of underwatering rather than overwatering. Also, use appropriate water. Room temperature water is best. Avoid cold water, which can shock the plant. If using tap water, let it sit out for 24 hours to allow any chlorine to dissipate before watering your cactus. You can also use rainwater, filtered or distilled water to ensure the best care for your cactus. Rainwater or distilled water is still the best though, as it contains healthy minerals and is safer for the cactus. Also, check for signs of underwatering and overwatering. Underwatering can cause the cactus to become dehydrated and stunt its growth. Signs of underwatering are wrinkled or shriveled appearance, wilting, dry and brittle stems, and slow or stunted growth. Overwatering can lead to root rot and other fungal diseases. The signs of overwatering are soft or mushy stems, splitting skin, root rot, foul odor, and also yellowing or browning of leaves. So to recap, water every 2 to 4 weeks during the growing season, which is spring and summer, and every 4 to 6 weeks or even less during the dormant season, which is fall and winter. And always err on the side of underwatering rather than overwatering. Next, how often should you fertilize your cactus? Fertilizing your cacti in spring can help give them the nutrients they need to thrive, the nutrients to support new growth and flowering. If a cactus is not getting enough nutrients, it may show signs like stunted growth, pale color, or a lack of flowering. Fertilize them during their active growing season in the spring and early summer. During their dormant period in fall and winter, they don't need to be fertilized. In general, you should fertilize your cacti plants with high potassium fertilizer 2 to 3 times during spring and summer. and use a fertilizer specifically designed for cacti and succulents, or a balanced fertilizer diluted to half strength or less. I use 3 types of fertilizer. One is a bloom booster, the other one is a liquid plant food, and the cactus and succulent food that I use when I repot my cacti. I give their first fertilizer around March. This is the bloom booster, and I use 1/2 strength so it's diluted. By mid-May, I fertilize them again with half the strength of the bloom booster, hoping to get them to rebloom and get another flush of blooms. By mid-June, I fertilize them with half strength of the cactus liquid plant food. And when it's time to repot my cacti, I use 1/4 strength of this dynamite fertilizer. So if you notice, I fertilize my cacti plants a total of 4 times during the year. I can do this since when I fertilize, it's diluted to half strength or less. Always dilute the fertilizer to half strength or less, as cacti are light feeders. Avoid over-fertilizing as it can burn the roots or cause other issues like etiolation or stretching, weakening, or even rot. So to recap, fertilize 2 to 3 times during the growing season using a fertilizer specifically formulated for cacti or succulents, diluted to half strength or less, and avoid fertilizing during their dormant period. These schedules of watering and fertilizing cacti works for me. What works for me may not work for you, so keep this as a guide and try experimenting. I hope this video will help you in any way. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, stay safe everyone. Maraming salamat. Happy gardening. Bye!